Uh, okay, let me tell you. First video. Recording is hard, man. Recording is real hard. If you're watching this channel, chances are you're probably an incel or incel adjacent, whatever you want to call yourself, really, even if you'd like to use that term. Red pillar, black pillar, whatever it may be. One of the core ideas of that, let's just call it the incel community for now. One of the core ideas of the incel community, or you could rather say the core goals, is getting with women. The vast majority of incels, or people who identify as incels, are young men. You know, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, that sort of age range. The whole concept of it, you know, is to get with women, whether it be just for one night stands or if you're actually trying to get into a relationship. But the incel community, as it stands right now, there's one issue that plagues it that it doesn't that no one really discusses. You don't deserve to be with a girl. Now, I know a lot of you might hear that and get mad. What the fuck do you know about me, Nuke? What do you know about? I know a fair bit. The incel community has become such a strange culture within itself that it's actually detrimental. You gotta understand. You don't want to be there. It's a prison. It's a prison. You don't want to be in prison. You don't want to be an incel. But you're in this community now with people just like you that you're, you know, I find people that understand me. That's great. You don't want to be around these people. You don't want to be an incel. You're stuck in it. If you take your stereotypical incel, it's not a good look. You got to think this way. Why would a girl want to be with you if you're within range of being a stereotypical incel? If we're going to make an example, let's say you were buying a car. You got some money in your pocket. You're ready to go to the dealership and pick one out. You narrowed it down to two options. Let's say option number one is lightly used Audi, newer to know on the newer side. It's got all the modern features. It's got, comfortable seats. It looks great. It's got some kick under the hood. It's not bad. It's not a bad car. Or, for the same price, you can get yourself a clapped out, beaten to shit Honda Civic. It runs like garbage. It's on its last legs. It's got rust everywhere. Why would you want it for the same price? It doesn't make sense. So if you take that and you put it into the perspective of like a girl, you got to put yourself into other people's shoes. So if you were a girl and you were, instead of buying a car with money, you're picking out a guy, are you going to put the same effort into like a guy that's well kept, is respectful, doesn't have an attitude or an ego, and isn't like balls deep into the incel community? Or are you going to take your stereotypical incel who doesn't take care of himself, hardly goes outside, and has a massive ego on top of it? Like, realistically, which one are you going to take? And if you're going to say, well, I take the incel because Chad isn't going to cheat on me, or I take the incel because, I make a lot of money, you're actively lying to yourself. The term "don't judge a book by its cover" is such a bullshit term. The whole premise of the cover is to be judged. So if you're not presenting yourself well, people are gonna, oh, well, I don't want to deal with him. He looks like shit. He looks like a bum. You can't blame people for thinking that. Meaning that if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're overweight, if you don't go outside, if you're antisocial, you have an ego, whatever it may be, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's no wonder that you're fucking in the shitter. And I'm not gonna be a hypocrite, okay? Like, I'm sitting down right now, but if I were to stand up, I, I'm a big guy. Like, I'm a big dude. I'm tall, okay. I'm like 6'2", but what is that? That's a gut. Now here's a picture of me when I was actually bigger. This was about a year ago. In that picture, I'm 335 pounds. I'll put what it is in kilograms underneath. And in this picture, I'm my current weight. I'm 265 pounds in that picture. I'm 265 pounds now. I took this picture not too long ago. Improvement is important. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I don't deserve a girlfriend. I'm still fat as shit. But I'm getting there. I'm making progress. And just for the record, it wasn't that difficult. Like, I hate people who say, weight loss is so hard. No, it isn't. You just got to keep a pace. You keep a pace and it's easy as shit. Right? And that goes with improvement in anything. If you go to a therapist, for instance, and that therapist says, well, you know, I understand your problem, but you have a bit of an ego. So maybe you should tone down that ego. If you walk out of that therapist room and you say, oh, I don't have an ego, you're just fucking dumb. That therapist is just fucking idiot. I spend money for it. Well, there's your problem. It's someone else that you're paying to tell you what's wrong, telling you what's wrong, and then you don't like it. Take accountability for yourself. You don't deserve a girlfriend because you don't take accountability for yourself. You don't deserve a girlfriend because you're not introspective. It's not hard at all. You just gotta do it. You literally wake up one day and start. And then, and only then, you can go out and say, okay, I'm gonna go hunt for broads. And when you get to that point, fantastic. You know, if I continue with this channel, hopefully you see me start to lose even more pounds. I'm always gonna be a bigger guy. I'm always gonna be stockier because that's just my frame. There's nothing I can really do about that. But I can still improve. I can always improve. I can do better. You can do better. You just have to try. If the incel community promoted self-improvement, not this look smacking bullshit where it's like you need this fucking razor sharp jawline and eyes that are tilted the right way. No, real, genuine improvement that you could build upon yourself. If they push that as much as they do hopelessness and black pill bullshit, then the incel community will be one of the most productive and well regarded communities online. I promise you. I promise you. But nope. Instead, you choose to sit and suffer and fuck around on 4chan and Reddit and all that other bullshit, watching Andrew Tate and Hamza like they know what the fuck they're talking about. Like they're on the same level. These guys have millions of dollars. Okay, Tate's in jail, sure, whatever, but like even prior then, these guys have millions of dollars. They're not on the same level as you, and even if they were, you still shouldn't be acting that way. Stop being an asshole. Stop being an asshole. You can't just walk up to a woman and say, we should be together, but I can cheat on you and you can't cheat on me. You gotta stay at home all day and play with my balls. It doesn't work like that. And many in the incel community nowadays are out here talking about state mandated girlfriends. State mandated girlfriends. Are you out of your mind? How would that even work? Why would anyone in their right mind implement that? Your fat ass can't get off the couch because you're too busy fucking around with crypto or some bullshit like that, NFTs. I don't know if that's even still a fucking thing. Instead of getting up and going to the gym. Bro, it's so over for me, bro. I have negative canthal tail, bro. My jawline is. How are you even here? Like, legitimately, did your parents not meet? Did they not have sex? I agree, okay. With the rise of social media, it's gotten a lot more difficult because everyone's looking at the top level people. But it doesn't mean that there's no one out there for you. You gotta put the work in for yourself. Set goals, real goals. If I don't have a six pack, then I'm not gonna. What? No, just lose some weight. You're wearing a triple XL shirt, wondering why you can't get a girlfriend. Why do you think you're spending your waking hours in front of a computer screen you haven't seen the sunlight in days, and wondering why you can't get a girlfriend. Why do you think the rare times that you go outside, you just act like a pompous asshole and criticize everyone around you because you genuinely believe that they're below you? And then you have the nerve to say why you can't get a girlfriend. Why do you think? It's not rocket science. Stop being an asshole. And even if you don't get a girlfriend right off the bat, you still have a baseline. You still have something to build off of to improve yourself. It's not like it doesn't exist. And you might be saying, well, I don't like any of the women here in the West. Okay, if you want to go the passport bros route, that's fine. I don't really have anything against it. I don't really have any strong opinions on it. I don't know. Maybe I might delve into it a bit more and see something that sways my opinion. But even then, okay, let's say, you're full on passport bro, but you're still an incel. Like physically and mentally, you're still an incel. So you go down to, I don't know, fucking, you go to the Philippines, you go to Mexico, you go to Europe, whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a passport now, bros. I'm a passport bro now. So I'm gonna go find me an exotic girl. No, it doesn't matter because you're still fat as shit. You're still a pompous asshole. You gotta improve yourself first. And after you improve yourself, then you can worry about your situation, where you are, where you're finding the girls. But it starts with you. Put an image of yourself in your head. The image of like what is the best possible realistic version of you. Now that you have that, I want you to think, how can I reach that goal? And then start. But until you make that decision, until you make those steps, you're not going to get a girlfriend. You don't deserve a girlfriend. Why would you? You're not even improving yourself. You don't have self respect. You don't deserve a girlfriend because you're not taking care of yourself. Again, I was fat as shit. I still am fat as shit, but I'm a lot less fat. If I lose another 50 pounds, this is what it is in kilograms. If I lose that, I'm fine. I'm golden. And I'm more or less back in the game trying to see what I can get. Whether it be one night stands, friends with benefits, or a long term partner, whatever I want. Even if 90% of the girls that I go for, if I have this reasonably perfect image of myself in my head, you know, even if that version of myself doesn't get 90% of the girls that I go after, there's still some success. You're going to get rejected, but you will still find more success in what you do now. Because right now, you're an imperfect version of yourself. You will always be imperfect, but you can get as close to perfection as possible and still be reasonable. If you're like 5'5" and you're saying, I can't get girls because, you know, I'm 5'5" and women want tall dudes now, you're lying to yourself. I'm sorry, but you're lying to yourself. And this is another topic that I'll get into. It's not you're not getting girls because you're 5'5". It's because you have a defeatist attitude and you're not taking care of yourself physically. I know guys like this personally. I'm friends with guys like this. And I'd go, you're not getting girls because of the way that you are. You gotta fix yourself. And slowly he's changed his mentality a bit, so and he's doing better. He's been like banging this fucking one broad that's like she's kind of a hoe, I won't lie, but it's like, you know what? He's still getting pussy. When he hadn't got pussy in like 2 years. And I don't think it was the whole reason, but part of it was because I had told him, you gotta change the way that you think. And lo and behold, he found success. It is possible. But the way that it stands now, the way that you are, you don't deserve a girlfriend yet. But if you improve, if you put in the effort, then you will find some success sooner or later. It's up to you.